We're gonna react to how Vlad got punched during the stream in Ireland. I was watching the start of the stream and I wonder what led to this outcome. Also, I'll be doing narration through the video because try to say all your thoughts in the mask without any AC or fan in this temperature.
I got punched during my first IRL livestream in Ireland. I would include it in my I Investigated Ireland as a Woman video during my comeback in early August. Yeah, that's right, those series are back after very popular request. But this incident spread like wildfire across the internet and especially Twitter, which surprisingly the amount of people taking the guy's side is concerning to say the least. I will play the clip first for context.
No, it's YouTube.
You're on TikTok, are you?
No, it's YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah, it's
Yup,
YouTube.
YouTube. Active. Where are you from?
I'm Russian, you?
Russian?
Yeah.
Oh, nice, eh? How old are you?
33, you?
23, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm 20. Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Natalie.
Natalie, yeah?
Yeah.
Where are you going now, Natalie?
I'm going to the bars.
Going to the bars. How many views we got? Oh,
Oh.
famous, eh?
A little. Just a little, yeah.
Oh, what are you going? Are you going home tonight?
Sorry, what?
You want to come home with me tonight?
Oh, no.
What?
Are you a boy or girl?
I'll let you guess. Oh fuck, bro, chill. Bro, chill.
What?
Oh fuck. Oh. First of all, it's really crazy to me that many people are like, Vlad, why didn't you fight back? When it's pretty public that I had jaw surgery 3 months ago and that thing needs a
Wait. Vlad had a surgery. I don't even know that.
jaw surgery 3 months ago and that thing needs a minimum of 6 months to heal. So risking something like that would be way too stupid. Not to mention that I was tagged, I was wearing heels, I was holding a purse and I was holding a tripod with the stream on. So realistically, I didn't have any chance of fighting back. And if I did, yeah, I wouldn't risk the surgery in any way. Anyways, many people said that what I do is transphobic and therefore I deserved it. And others are simply way too right-wing, calling me a fag and saying that the guy indeed did the right thing. I will address everything, so let's start. First,
I mean, I'm not surprised by the second part because these people always been here, are here, and probably will always be here. That's something we won't get rid of, at least for a really long time.
how do right-wing people support this behavior? Because they're the ones who are hating illegal immigrants because some of them act like violent animals. The incident in Belfast is a good example of that. But then they go on Twitter and support somebody who is also acting like a violent animal. Something doesn't add up here. How you hate a behavior and then embrace it. Also, we found out that the guy who punched me is also a drug dealer, which, funny enough, drugs is also one of the reasons that the right wing hates a group of people. Like, how funny would it be if a guy who supports that guy for punching me then learns that his kid is buying drugs from that guy? It would be pretty ironic, right? This indeed makes no sense. And I'll give credit to Asmongold for being the first to say it.
I think this is ridiculous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. This is what happens when you deceive someone and think it's funny. Not saying it's assault. I understand it. This is, guys, because you get attracted to a cross-dresser, that doesn't mean you get to punch the cross-dresser in the face, okay? Like that's, you know who does that? The people that I say should be deported every day shouldn't do that. They do that, okay? Like this is insane. It's so stupid. Why is anybody acting like this is normal? Should not hit somebody over this. Are you kidding me? It's so stupid. And also, he was the one propositioning her. Like, why are there so many people defending this? These people are surprised that faking their gender to essay a straight guy is wrong. Wait, what are they?
Wait, hold on. What they mean by faking? I played HRT and, you know, these things. I don't fake anything. I don't know how Vlad. I don't really know how Vlad. I know that he was accused of being a fake fanboy, doing it only for fame. But I don't really know. I stopped watching Vlad for the last year, I think, and I don't really know much about him. So I'm kind of lost here, to be honest. But to be honest, guys, Don't piss off transgenders, femboys, crossdressers, anybody, because you never know what they are thinking. Don't ask me why I put that in there. I think my fried brain just wanted to flex, I guess. But as I said, don't piss off people you don't know, because they can seriously surprise you. Trust me. The only reason why I don't fight on the street are two things. The first reason is that I am really, really, really patient. I am so fucking patient. I should have a halo or I don't know. And the second reason are laws. I didn't really want to end up in prison just because I punched some asshole because he had some stupid things to say. And it recently happened to me a few weeks ago at like 4 a.m. when I was going outside the city center. Two guys, probably teenagers, were saying some stupid shit. And I was really, really fed up of everything that day. I was really tired and holding myself so much back not to end up like in this video. They were two, and I think I would win. What I wanted to say by that is that nobody has unlimited patience, and it's not worth risking it.
They talking about sexual assault? Like, what?
99% of the stream was extremely fun for everyone involved, including the guys who fell for it. But all they did was have a good laugh and things ended there. But that guy was the first one to catcall me, then he saw that I was live, he willingly stayed into the stream, he saw the amount of viewers that the stream had, which I believe it was around 1,000, and he still decided to stay into the stream, which means he was fully aware of what was going on. And regardless of all of that, he still continued to his actions. Funny enough, he even kinda suspected that I wasn't a girl. So in a way, he was even prepared for it. Which brings me to my second point, where people say that my content is transphobic, and
What is transphobic about this content? Are you fucking kidding me? What is transphobic? Like, tell me what is transphobic. There's nothing hateful about trans people in Vlad's content. There's nothing hateful. How this can be transphobic? Explain me, Daddy Vlad.
allow me to explain why that's completely false. First of all, I'm an ally, obviously. The first argument that many people use is that my content is transphobic because I am not trans. And
Wait, hold on. So, like, and how they explain femboys? Like, are all femboys transphobic? Does it make all femboys transphobic? I would like to know how these people are thinking. Like, all femboys are transphobic now, according these thoughts and these opinions. What the fuck?
you know that an argument is bad when it can just get deleted by me just coming and saying, hey, I'm trans. If that's all I have to do in order to basically make you have no argument, you know it's a bad argument. The other thing people accuse me of is acting like a girl and baiting straight guys, therefore putting trans women to danger. Because instead of women, they will be seen as someone who is baiting men. Do you honestly think that if that animal found out that I'm not a biological woman, with me not dropping the voice, therefore putting me in the exact spot a trans woman could have been, he would have acted in any other way?
No,
Honestly,
he wouldn't.
Someone who resorts to violence as their very, very first response, yeah, I don't think he would have done anything else in that scenario. Therefore, instead of actually me embracing the problem, the danger that trans women are facing on a daily basis. It's the exact same logic with how my content rose awareness for the issues that women are facing. And I've got that thousands of times in my DMs and countless times in person by guys telling me that their sisters, wives, girlfriends, or anything else were telling them how dangerous and how bad things actually are, but they wouldn't believe them because they couldn't see it anywhere how it actually happens until they saw my content. So in that way, it is definitely a very important and positive impact.
I mean, yeah, that's basically true. Like, you can say anything. All of these guys from the start think that Vlad is a woman, and they treat him like a woman. So, like, you can say nothing. You have Yeah, for no counter argument for that. That's a really positive thing that it shows to people how bad things actually are.
Exact logic of awareness applies to trans women as well. So to those that are calling me a transphobe, I genuinely believe that you should kinda chill with the victim mentality. Also, many people are calling him gay for being attracted to me, which again doesn't make any sense, since being attracted to femininity is not gay in any way. Oh, she
Wait, hold on. The British gay rights activist Peter Tatko, or how should I pronounce his name, has argued that the term gay is merely a cultural expression which reflects the current status of homosexuality within a given society, and claiming that queer, gay, or homosexual, in the long view, they are all just temporary identities. One day we will not need them at all. Yeah, I kinda did not understand this one, so explain it to me in comments, please. And also, I'm really confused about all of these explanations. What it actually means to be gay. I don't think I'm any smarter. The opposite. I think I'm more dumb.
happens to have a penis, just say that's not my thing and continue your day. I don't get why you gotta overcomplicate things so much. Like, do you think a gay guy would be attracted to a trans woman? Most likely not. And since I am at the
So that puts me kinda in a bisexual zone, according to Vlad's point of view. Okay.
trans topic, I've noticed that the community has a largely divided opinion on me. Many do understand that I have a positive impact on the community, and I'll explain in a bit in detail how. But others simply hate my guts and hope that I am unalived.
Also found this conversation of a trans woman
Yeah. I heard it so many times in IRL or on the internet. It just happens. It just happens. People are mean.
who hates me a lot, and I feel that if you take a moment to read it, you'll see exactly the irony and how haters struggle with common sense.
What the fuck? Wait, hold on. I'll read this last. Oh, hold on. You are one of those females baiting people then showing off your girl cock. No wonder you have these hypocritical, self-serving bullshit views. Is there anything hot than a cute girl playing with herself? What the fuck is that? Oh, so she has 2 Twitter accounts. Okay.
As they say, I'm doing content that promotes a stereotype against trans women, but then they do the exact same thing and call it feeling good about themselves. For context, there is a stereotype that being trans is tied to corn addiction or autogenophilia, which is not true, but funny enough, the people who say that my content promotes stereotypes against trans women do the exact same thing with a different way, promoting the stereotype that I mentioned. Read the conversation on screen to get the context and enjoy the irony. Hypocritical, self-serving views indeed.
Oh, and of course, those same people
Amazing how people are justifying violence here because they suffer violence against people they hate. That's so true. Finally, something on Twitter that makes sense. For the first time, it's not porn or total nonsense or something hypocritical. It makes sense.
who want me unalived are the same people who are against violence and stuff like that. I guess they only support violence towards people they hate. I have even seen people saying that they want me unalived.
I hope you die in hell. I hope you know Benjamin Netanyahu. You know him.
No.
Look him up. He will kill you.
What the fuck?
Just because I mock them. I wish I was joking. I really wish I was joking. And to those incapable of common sense, let me explain you exactly how I'm actually having a positive impact on the community instead of a negative one. But in order to understand that, firstly we need to understand why are trans people hated to begin with. And it's
That's easy because it's not something what is normal in our population, and people just hate new things and things that aren't normal. There's actually the third thing. and these are misinformation, or not enough of information, not being informated about them, because so many times when I was a basic gay man on high school, I heard so many times from so many homophobes, I hate gays, but you are cool. And it was not because I would be any different than other guys. The only different thing was that I had different bad activities. That's all. That's all. I just waited, and like, I don't know, after a few weeks I said, oh yeah, I'm gay actually. And like, homophobes were okay with me, with gay person. They were okay because they think that like classic TV gay person is normal gay person, but that's not true. You won't notice any difference between a straight guy and a gay guy. In many cases, you just won't notice.
Mostly the following 4 reasons. Well, the fourth one is simply because some people in the community are provocative idiots.
Okay, I forgot it. I forgot about this one. Yeah, it's 4 reasons. Yeah, I kind of hate these people. No, I mean, not hate, but they're not making it any easier for everybody else.
And that type of human exists in all categories, regardless of gender identity.
Yeah, but I think that in LGBTQ, they are the loudest, or more like the one who gets the most attention for some reason.
Race or age. The first and most common reason, in my opinion, is that people simply have zero knowledge about the topic. So
Yeah, exactly. This is exactly what I
what
said.
ends up happening is that those people will get impacted and have their opinions formed about either what they see online, let's say what their first experience or interaction with this topic is, or simply be affected by other factors in their life, such as media, TV, family, religion.
I mean, yeah, that's basically what I said. I just said TV as an example, only TV, but yeah, we got the
Or
same
simply
points
their
for some.
circle.
for
The second
now.
reason is because the haters are in fact lovers and they're into it. But
That got another point. So there are many reasons why people hate trans and gay and just LGBT people.
in order to hide it, they really try to show how much they hate it. Perfect examples of that are simply how Russia is a very homophobic and transphobic country, but somehow the most viewed category in adult content when it comes to Russia is transgender.
No fucking way. I mean, it makes sense because Russia is a really old-minded country, maybe even more than my country, and that's something to say. So it's safe to say that transgender adult content is in Russia something like their guilty pleasure.
Pretty ironic. Or another great example is how Grindr, which is basically the gay Tinder, crashed during a Republican convention. Again, pretty ironic if you ask me. The third reason is coming from within the community. So basically, trans people hate other trans people, and as I mentioned earlier, they really wish for some of them to... The primary reason is jealousy. That could be for their youth, their looks, their financial situation, or simply their confidence.
Okay. I gotta be honest on this one. I don't wanna say that I'm jealous of how trans people look, because I will have my prime time. I still didn't have my prime time. I'm still not on HRT. I still didn't get my lasers or anything. But I wouldn't say that I'm jealous of them. I would just say that I don't know, it kind of hurts that in my finish line, or how should I say it? By that, I wanted to say that it's kind of sad that ADRA has resources and laws for them to be able to do this change, while I'll need to work like many times harder, but I'm still not jealous. I'm more time like sad, but more like I just gotta work harder for it. That this is how would I put it. I gotta work harder and I gotta change my country to be able to do it.
But again, this is like the fourth category, which is a trait that kind of exists in all humans. Therefore, again, it's not really worth it going deeper into it when it comes to this context. Because the third and the fourth category that I mentioned are simply human errors. You can't really fix that regardless of their gender identity. But where am I going with this? The second group exists because the first group turns into transphobes, as I mentioned before, by all of the things around them. And yes, this is finally where I explain exactly how I help instead of harming. Imagine the average Joe in America who has absolutely zero knowledge about any of this. He has barely seen any of it anywhere anyway. So realistically, he doesn't really have an opinion on it. But because of how social media works nowadays, basically any engagement is good engagement, including the rage baits and basically negative engagement, mostly. Like, if you're being hated, it's the easiest way to go viral. And guess what? The provocative idiots I mentioned earlier, they tend to go viral very, very often just because of the large amount of negative engagement they receive. So our average Joe has a very high chance.
I never understood the mentality that I'll be famous no matter what, no matter how many people I piss off. I would rather be nobody for the rest of my life, for the rest of my fucking life, than being famous for being hated. I never understood this mentality.
Of having his first ever interaction with a trans person being a provocative idiot. So now in his head, all people who fall into that category are like I mentioned earlier.
Shit, what the fuck is going on with YouTube?
Negativing his first ever now in his action with a trans person being a provocative idiot. So now in his head, all people who fall into that category are like that. Especially when that interaction becomes more and more often. Especially when more and more provocative idiots appear that are basically forcing, in a way, their belief onto our average Joe, instead of simply stating that we exist and that's fine.
That's basically my lifestyle, live and let live. That's something I was raised in, and it's something I want to spread. Live and let live. Like, if it's not something like really bad, like, I don't know, like a robber, a manipulator, a PDF file, murderer, or something like this really bad shit, I don't care. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. I don't really care. Just let me live, and I will let you live.
So because the provocative idiot really wants the online attention and therefore all the money or whatever they could get from it, now they do all this rage bait because, let's be honest, hate takes you where no support could ever take you. The hater will push your content way more than any supporter ever could. They will send it everywhere just to make sure to show how much they hate you. So now our provocative idiot has more incentive than ever to keep rage baiting, but our average Joe, that's all he gets on his feed in relation to trans people right now. People who are being provocative and are rage baiting. Now the average Joe starts to hate it because not only the people around him possibly had this similar experience and told him to, but now he himself has that experience as well, because he thinks that everyone who is trans is like the provocative idiots he come up with online. But what do I have to do with all of this? Don't worry, I'm getting there. For good or bad, when somebody who has no idea who I am sees me for the first time, they're gonna associate me in their heads with trans, whether that's true or not. But why does this matter? Because people who come across my
are gay. Like, people genuinely think that dressing up as a girl is gay and not trans. They don't see any difference in between that.
Content first, before the rage bait, they are actually very pro-trans, or they even very regularly have their opinions changed. And I've seen it countless times, both in my DMs and in real life.
I heard so many times from so many homophobes, I hate gays, but you are cool.
Because their first experience in what is in their head trans is now me, instead of the rage baiter. Because I'm one of the few people who fall into that category and go viral enough where the average Joe will come across my content. Because they do notice how I'm doing something that brings positive impact on the society and also brings some laughter along the way. When I'm saying positive impact, I'm talking about raising awareness for the issues that women are facing. And for those who don't know that, comedy is one of the best ways to get a message across towards the receiver.
Oh my god, oh my god. I literally got goosebumps from how much true is that. Unless you're saying that somebody died, that would be a really bad way how to say it.
Because the receiver is much more open and accepting towards the message, because it brings him joy. A perfect example for that is this scene from The Dictator. I won't play the scene to not get copyrighted, but this is the one if you wanna go and check it out. What's even crazier to me is that people who have zero idea and zero context about my background sit on the internet and yap non-stop about what I am and what I believe in without any context. So let me give you some context. So firstly, I did study social psychology, sociology, and many other subjects that are related to how humans communicate and perceive things around them before dropping out of university on my final year to do YouTube. Also during my university years, I did go to college, which I finished as a personal trainer, and at the same time I was working as a waiter. The problem with those people who are looking for reasons to get offended and by extension hating me is their extreme victim mentality, without realizing that what happens to you is only 20% and how you react to it is the other 80%. And I am a prime example of that. But before explaining why, let me show you how much people are self-victimizing themselves. They're hating on me because I could afford surgery. They're hating on me because I can do makeup. Or simply in other words, because they're too lazy to learn.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, look at my makeup. My makeup today is really bad. It's my eyeshadows are blended really badly today because I was doing it kind of a rush because I wanted to react to this video, to this topic that just dropped, and I just rushed, and it's not that big deal. Then okay, today the makeup was bad, but next time it will be better. Next time I will take some time and won't rush it. I also had times when I saw people offering, I don't know, surgeries, feminizing surgeries, having more accessible HRT, having more supportive people around them. But I never slid into their comments to write something hateful or say something hateful to those people, because I know that, okay, I got harder conditions, but that doesn't mean it will never happen. I just gotta work really hard. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that you don't see behind those pictures and videos. You don't see if the person was really working hard, was saving money, was, I don't know, doing whatever it took to afford everything from that. You don't see that. Yeah, I will pick as example me. I work as a construction worker. Yeah, I know, shocking. I work as a construction worker in quite homophobic country. Yes, I go outside in makeup and woman's clothes, and I'm saving and not quitting my job because it pays pretty good, even though I gotta endure shitty working environment, job I hate, and or overall people I hate. I will rather endure all of that to have better future and work for things I want in my future than... What was my point? It's so fucking hot, I'm losing my point. Then being hateful towards other people and being sad. I'll rather endure all of this. You can either cry about your miserable life and write hateful comments, or you can get your shit up and work for it. It's the same thing, like, you will never have a clean room if you want to get up and clean it. That's the same thing.
They also hate me because I proved countless times how attitude and presentation is basically one of the most important things when it comes to passing. They cannot do it, so they hate. And now for a funny one. I know how people hate on me because I'm more successful than them, but then they end up doing the exact same content that I am doing. Yes, guys, some of you who DM'd me for collabs, you know who you are. I know exactly what you were saying about me before you started making content yourselves and asking me for collabs. Pretty ironic, isn't it? And some of them hate me because I achieved physical goals they could never, because again, they're too lazy. Funny enough, those
yeah. Again, my point. I was basically doing longer version of my thoughts, or the thoughts I can't get out because I'm fucking overheated.
victim-minded individuals ignore the fact that I had every reason imaginable to fail, do nothing and be nothing. I was born to an immigrant mother where my alcoholic and gambling addicted father was abusing both of us. And obviously since I was of a very young age. Eventually my mother couldn't take it anymore. So we grabbed whatever belongings we had and we escaped. Once my father realized that we were gone, he started looking for us all over the city, which at the time the city was pretty small and underdeveloped. Everyone knew everyone. Eventually he found us. And when he did, he demanded that I get into his car. I was still 8 years old. I was very, very scared, so I did, because I've seen what his rage can do when he was beating the shit out of us back in his home. I got into the car and he did beat the shit out of me. And he made sure to scream and shout at me with all his rage about how my mother is a whore and I should hate her. That psychological warfare continued for the next years, as on a weekly basis he would come under my apartment and he would call my mother and tell her that I need to go down to see him because he is my father. And my mother was an immigrant. She was extremely scared. So she did, in the hopes that if we did that, they wouldn't harm us. And every single time I got into the car, he would always shout at me. He would say the things I told you before about my mother. He would call me useless. And that stayed with me for a long time. I didn't know what to do. I was very, very scared. But that is until 2 years later, where I stepped up, I swallowed my fear, and one day as I got into the car and he started screaming at me again, I told him that if he dares to touch me again, or my mom, or call my mom a whore again, I will end him in his sleep with a knife in his throat. He stopped. And for the next, let's say weeks, maybe months, he was quite chill. Until my brother was murdered. And that brought a whole new era of trauma and fear for me. Since now on a daily basis, I was scared that
Alexa, shut the fuck up!
they could come for me next. All we know is that he owed money to some very bad people. And I was scared that maybe they will kidnap me as ransom to get the money from my father, or simply kill me as well. Well, I was 10 years old. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know the realities of the world. And basically, I had learned to live with it. Expect every single day that something really bad could happen today. And
Wait, he was only 10 years old? He was only 10 years old when he told his dad that 10 or 8, I don't really know, but still, even then, that's a really young age to say something to your father.
I just accepted that. After my brother's death, my father got worse, way worse. He started drinking more, gambling more. Quite funny, he lost almost everything when it comes to gambling. And he even kind of forced me to start tasting whiskey at the age of 10, which was really, really disgusting. And he was also doing that to make me a man, you know?
Yeah, because hard alcohol makes you man. Everybody knows that. It was irony if you don't know that. I don't drink as well. I had my drinking era as well. It was probably more than drinking. I was probably a heavy drinker, probably more than heavy drinker. I don't want to do that again. I don't want to fall for it again.
I'm at 10 years old. I'm his son. I should be a true man and be able to drink whiskey. I refused. He was angry at me, but eventually that thing ended. At the age of 13, I started hard hand labor, and yeah, we had to make ends meet, so I was trying to help as much as possible. But it was really difficult because my main job was starting at like 7 a.m. in the morning all the way to 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and it was just carrying around sacks, heavy sacks of building materials.
Oh my god, like you were 13 and you were working from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m.? Damn, that's heavy. That's how long? That's 9 hours of work. To me also something really bad things happened. I can imagine that at least 2 people would end up in prison, and I needed a shit ton of psychology to help me. But damn, this is some heavy stuff. But guys, what I wanna spread is don't measure your traumas with anybody else's traumas. It leads nowhere, and you don't know how the person feels about it or what is actually worse. It's not a flex, and you will just victimizing yourself for nothing.
Damaged my wrists, and not just that. One day I had an accident with my knees. I fell on the ground because of the weight. So I did damage my knee a lot, and when we did go to the doctor, he said that it will never fully heal. When I'm 13 years old and I already have experience all of that, and now even my body has physical damage, which according to the doctor could be permanent, it stops your will to live. You feel like there is no point in anything. You feel like you are destined to fail and be nothing. So it does take a big toll on you. Obviously I was going to school, so I was working only on weekends or summers or any other day that I didn't have school on. Obviously I didn't speak English, and back then my city and country overall was more like an underdeveloped village where most people are closed-minded, and dreaming big of any sort is considered really weird and unachievable. Honestly, all these things is just barely scratching the surface, so if I was to include everything, this video would be hours and hours long, which I eventually do intend to make it happen, but that's later on because I want to, when that video gets released, so it affects the most people possible.
Yeah, I think that video could how should I say it, could bring some message to many people about having bad start but good ending. Why did I feel? Wait, hold on, there's some phasmophobia shit around. Why did I feel a wind out of nowhere when my window is closed? But get back to the point. I'm sorry, I have spinal tension as a golden retriever, if you haven't noticed.
Because I genuinely feel like it could inspire and affect many people's lives in a positive manner. Also, in case you're wondering how do I speak so freely about all these things, the answer is I got used to it. As in fact, later on in my life when I was 21, I think, it was during 2020 anyway, so I was close to 22 years old, I pretty much got fully exploited by a TV station and the show Big Brother, which they agreed to put me on the show because I wanted to go on the show because I felt like...
What? What they did? It's just, I don't know, it's disgusting.
I don't know, something positive could come out of that, but all they wanted to do is to portray me as this tragic character with a sad backstory and sell my backstory. So the deal was that I have to pretty much tell my entire backstory for the audience to feel bad about me, and also say things that I didn't want to reveal about my personal life, just for me to have a shot at doing something, I guess. I said, looking back at it right now, it was a mistake, even though it did teach me many things, so...
I would never go to some media where I have zero control. I don't want this to happen. This is exactly the thing I don't want to happen to me. And luckily, media in my country is pretty trash, so I'm not even craving to get into TV.
Maybe at the end of the day, that was a good thing. With all this said, I could argue that I had every single reason to hate everything around me and feel like a victim. which for a pretty long time I did. Until I realized that I control the other 80% of an outcome. So I completely switched my mindset from feeling like a victim, hating everyone, to actually understanding that all these bad events actually give me a crazy advantage in life. Instead of feeling sad and blaming others, I actually understood that, you know what? The worst part of my life is behind me. And I've already experienced all this. I've experienced trauma and things that people won't even know or aren't aware at any point in their lives, maybe until they get much older. So I've experienced abuse, poverty, fear, death, and much, much more, which I haven't covered. But this made me realize and switch my mindset that, you know what? Anything else is so much easier. Like right now, I work like what, 12 to 14 hours every single day, non-stop. That's easy. It's way easier than being a 13-year-old kid and having to move tons of building materials around and getting damaged on your wrists and knees, which by the way, I overcame by working out all the fucking time. I don't know how, somehow my joints fully healed once I started eating fully healthily and really commit myself to working out. So yeah, I also defeated that thing. Just think of having this mentality. If all that shit happened, is it really that hard to eat some healthy food? That's just so easy, just compare the two. See, it's all about mindset, it's how you perceive things. So if you blame others for your life and you feel like a victim, you have no one else to blame but yourself. You can use all of that as fuel to actually make something happen and change it all, because in fact you can. It's all about mindset. This image is a great example.
That's really true. And by the way, sorry I didn't comment it because I didn't really want to stop in the Let's story and the message. I don't know, it just feels disrespectful and I'm speechless. That's also the truth. I'm speechless.
That was all. I have nothing else to say. And if you have any constructive criticism about anything of what I said in this video, you are more than welcome to leave your comment below. But if you're basically pointlessly hating without any real arguments, then I genuinely feel sorry for you, as you were brainwashed to live a miserable life because you hate yourself so much that that hatred goes on to everything around you, which makes your life miserable. Because I've met thousands of people, and the only people who are hating what's around them is those who hate themselves way, way more. So that hatred has to go somewhere. I wish you one day get better and change your mindset, or else you'll still remain miserable. Good luck.
Okay. For the first insta fucking life. He basically left zero space to argument. That is right that we have same opinions and we share some similar life experiences. But yeah, this end left me speechless. I'm so fucking drained because the video has 30 minutes. I record for over an hour and I have so much content. Like, look at me. That's a topic. That's a video made for me. I was basically saying the same thing as Blind. Why am I even recording this video? Except most of them got cut out because there were so many things to say, and mostly I was saying the same things as Vlad was saying. But yeah, guys, don't be haters. Be lovers. Not these lovers, oh my fucking god. Live and let live. What else to say? See you in another, hopefully more light-headed video.